Western Cape has a long history of rallying, providing beautiful backdrops and ideal roads for superfast special stages. Little wonder then that the locals are big rally fans and always welcome the fraternity with open arms. The atmosphere is always one of excitement, which also helps competitors to put in that extra little effort. The previous round of the South African Rally Championship, the Garden Route Rally, brought the sport back to the Southern Cape for the first time in 17 years, and it certainly provided plenty of action. Charles Wilken in the Basil Reed Ford was the victim of a number of unfortunate incidents which hampered his progress, while Hergen Fecken in his BP Volkswagen Polo had to withdraw because of a blown engine. BP Polo teammate Enzo King chased down the rally leader, as did Johnny Gemmel in the Castrol Toyota Auris, but they could do very little to catch Mark Renier and Robin Houghton in the Sasol Ford Fiesta. Jan Habich in the third BP Polo damaged his suspension after hitting a pile of logs, which left John Williams in the second Sasol Ford nowhere to go. Keane and navigator Guy Hodgson kept their championship hopes alive by finishing fourth. Leroy Polter and Eldine Coetzee in the second Castrol Toyota were third, behind teammates Gemmel and Drew Sturrock. But Renier and Houghton clinched their third successive win to go top of the standings with 2 rounds to go. The Toyota Cape Dealer Rally is proudly brought to you by Toyota. The 7th round of the South African Rally Championship, the Toyota Cape Dealer Rally, brought the sport to the Western Cape for the first time this season, with headquarters and start at McCarthy Toyota in Tableview. The area is known for its fanatic motorsport and particularly rally fans, and they had ample opportunity of getting a close look at their favorite cars and stars.
This is my car.
Sunny, warm conditions lay ahead for competitors and spectators alike, with little chance of rain, so stage surfaces were bound to play a role in the outcome of the event. As championship leaders, Mark Renier and Robin Houghton would be first on the road.
We're leading the championship. We've got to make sure that we, do a clean run, and that's the intention this morning, to go out there, have a clean run, and see sort of what the pace is. It's pretty much the same sort of sentiment I had in Iceland.
We're here to try hard. Our strategy is to push very hard. This is a different format of event. It's almost like a Grand Prix. It's flat out. Very little to stop for. So reading the road's important, and committing to those long blind rises. We'll try very hard. I think the Volkswagens can do well here. They're strong cars. They've got good top-end speed, and that might put us much closer to the competition.
This is completely different to the last event. This has got a lot of long straights and some jumps and dips, but I think the nature of this event, everyone will be close together there at the front, so just a little mistake here or there and you're down a little bit.
So the rally action gets underway with Mark Renier and Robin Houghton in the Sasol Ford Fiesta leading them off the starting ramp, leading the championship by 4 points. As they go into this event, then Rottenbach and Klinger in the Green Fuels Ford Fiesta, currently in second position in the championship. Third, Keane and Hodgson in the BP Volkswagen Polo, trailing by 9 points in the standings. And Johnny Gemmel and Drew Sturrock in the Castrol Toyota Auris, 11 points off the pace.
Stage 1 of 9 then, Sandkloof. It's going to be a 13.31 kilometer stage. Pretty short, but it's going to be flat out wide open. And it's going to be all about Renier leading things out. It's been a long time since he's been in this position to be the first man on the road.
Yeah, and I don't think he's very happy about that. It's a kind of an anomaly in the championship at the moment, where if you are the championship leader, you have the disadvantage of cleaning the road on the first day.
Renier is going to be brimming with confidence coming off that last win, so he knows he's got an ideal setup on the car. All he's doing is checking out the roads for now. He would set the benchmark.
Rottenbach and Klinger, and they will be chasing down a time of 7 minutes 17.6 seconds set by Renier and Houghton.
30 max bump, 30 max bump, and jump, 120, long neck max right, maybe plus of a bump.
That's really giving us an idea of what it is all about. It is pinned wide open. Kuhn, the #1 driver, on board with him.
And the left four now. Whoa, and go left of it. You know. Oh, mother. Okay, I'll go through there.
An early mistake in the rally for Kuhn. And on a short 13-kilometer stage, you're not going to be able to make much back on that.
And he would lose about 12 seconds as a result of that. Now, Johnny Gemmell and Drew Sturrock, everybody so far has not been able to beat the time set by Mark Grenier. Can this crew do it?
Yeah, Gemmell has got a lot riding on this one as well, but it's the curse of driving your own rally as well. Toyota want to take the Toyota win.
Well, he's absolutely flat out, and Gemmell goes 10.1 seconds faster than anybody else in that stage. Now, Fecken and Aries.
Jump. Slight danger, bad the jump. And slight kink of an easy bump, see 400. Easy bump. Then 100, turn left 9, caution through gate, bad step down, I can't see anything, bad step down, turn left 9 through gate.
The big jumps have always been his problem, and he'd be hoping to not repeat the problems he had at the previous rally.
See 80, right 1, it is right king, right left.
And John Williams and Cobus Frey in the Sassel Ford would go 21.6 seconds slower than Gemmell. Now, Wilken and Gottrich coming off a non-finish in the previous round. They certainly would like to make up for that one. The Fords are seemingly being matched by the Toyotas at this point.
Yeah, good to see that. Poulter then the second of the Toyotas, and he has historically this year been the king of day number 2. He's got to dial in day number 1 at the Toyota Rally.
Well, he's got his foot down, and at the end of this, oh, he's just struggling a little bit there. But at the end of this stage, he would go second fastest to his teammate, only 4.2 seconds down.
De Villiers just feeling his way around now. I looked at this rally and the layout. It's got De Villiers written all over it. It's just flat out high speed. And as long as they get the setup right on the polos, he should be able to run high.
Yeah, he loves these kind of conditions. And he's getting better and better with every passing rally. Jan Habig and Robert Paisley now. They also typically absolutely foot flat.
So many of these drivers, and especially Habig, looking for a little bit more luck on his side. He was running good pace down at the Garden Route before he had to retire. And now we go back with Visser du Plessis. Remember, he didn't even start the previous rally because of a brake caliper problem. So it's good to see both of the Pertex Peugeots lining up.
Absolutely right, and hopefully it will last a little bit longer. His teammate Hein Latergan has had a very good run so far this season. Latergan and John van der Merwe. Very good run and looking very, very fast on this stage.
First of the team total Toyotas. This is going to be JP Damso and Carolyn Swan. Now JP runs good on these kind of stages. He knows this area very well, and we expect good results on this rally.
Absolutely right. This is virtually where he grew up as a rallyist, of course. And he would go sixth fastest on the stage. Now, Nicholas Ryan and Armand de Toy in the Grand Mark Volkswagen Polo.
Bit ragged on stage number 1. Remember, he's trying to defend a top 5 in the championship.
Been very consistent so far. There's the second of the team total Toyota Auris cars.
And left 2 of a plus. Go through small gate, 60 down. Concrete bridge, right 7.
And Musa and Martin would go 23.8 seconds off the pace. Maybe that is some kind of a problem. Wilro Dippenaar now and Derek Jacobs in the McCarthy Toyota Run X making a bit of a mistake, and that will cost him a lot of time.
Yeah, they'll be hoping that's the only one on the rally, and to lose it on the first stage, you can still make that up because there's some massive fast stages coming out.
Youngster from Namibia has been very impressive so far this season. Now, it's Sebastian Klaassen and Cindy Harding, also a local pairing, in the Monster Energy Drink Subaru. And the results of stage 1 with a 1-2 for Toyota. Gemmell ahead of Poulter by 4.2 seconds. Grenier paying the price for being first on the road in 3rd. Rotenbach down in 8th and Wilken in 9th. Opportunity now to service before the start of the long second stage.
Do a few tweaks in that now, and then we'll see the long one. I think that's going to be a bit of a decider.
We had a good stage there, and it felt good. A bit slippy, but no, it felt good. And Leroy's also just behind me, so that's nice.
We've done quite a lot of changes. The car's feeling very good. We had a small misfire through the water splash, so that was a bit irritating, but I think the car's really working well and it's feeling good.
Stage 2, and this is where the rally is going to start. Niverdam, 38.17 kilometers, a monster of a stage.
Yep, we're just a little bit further up the R45 towards Moereesburg, and this is an area known for its muggies in the summer heat. Visser du Plessis and Gerard Snyman currently in 16th position, but they're running with problems very, very slow in the stage. In fact, they would retire after the stage with engine problems.
Claassen still battling to get the setup on the Subaru as well. Said after the stage, battled with massive understeer, and they were going to have to turn some screws after this one.
Dippenaar and Jacobs currently in 17th position overall after a steady start in stage 1, seemingly now without any problems. Nice and consistent run for them. Later Gaan van der Merwe now 4th overall after stage 1.
Vertex Peugeot. Now they've got a new handling package that was developed in Europe, so they're finally getting to unleash the potential of that car.
Musa and Martin just hovering outside the top 10 after a steady start. This is Ryan and De Toy.
The top privateer entry, running in that 5th place and just bringing home consistent finishes every time. Now, here is the man that needs to start pushing.
Cronje and Houghton currently in 3rd position overall, only 10.1 seconds off the pace, but they're still first on the road, remember, so they're still sweeping the road for the rest of the competitors.
Aggressive and pushing. Normally, stage number 2 is where he drops the hammer. De Villiers in the zone.
In 10th place overall, but they would go 10th fastest in this stage. It's a 38-kilometer stage, and they would be about half a second per kilometer slower than the pace.
Herken Fecken. Look at how tight it is through sections like this, through the farm, and then back out into the blast.
Currently lying in 5th position overall. He would like to improve on that, but not take any chances on this stage. Williams and Frey. The second, Sassel Ford, currently in 11th position overall.
Right 6, left 3. Into easy box up. Left 2 gate, 130, right 9, bad hard, right 9, bad hard.
Janabich and Robert Paisley in the BP Volkswagen Polo currently in an uncharacteristic 7th position overall.
And would maintain that to take another 7th position on stage number 2.
Teammates Enzo Kuhn and Guy Hodgson putting the hammer down. They are only in 12th position after the first stage, 22 seconds off the pace. They will go on and set the 6th fastest time on the stage.
Keane is always so good at just figuring out the rally, just eases his way in and then builds up the pace.
Been off the boil somewhat lately in the season, Rotebach and Klinger, they're hoping for a good result, coming into the stage in 8th position overall.
100 max bumps. 100 max bumps. 120, 120 max bump and slow jump into narrow 4 left right through gate.
Obvious from those shots, it is just all about horsepower on stage number 2. 38 kilometers as well at max pace.
Damso and Swan in the Team Total Toyota Auris, definitely one of the dark horse crews, I reckon, on this rally. They know this very well, and he is currently lying in 6th position overall, only 12 seconds off the pace.
Nice and tight, and then it just opens wide open again. Vilkin and Godrich coming off a dismal season so far, really wanting to turn things around. Coming off in 9th place in stage number 1 and looking like they're running a solid pace in this one.
Taking it easy, relatively speaking, I would say, if that's possible. But they certainly don't need to have any early incidents.
Space on out. Space on out. 550 now.
And they would go 3rd fastest on the stage. Now, Bolter and Kutsia currently in 2nd position behind their teammates by a margin of only 4.2 seconds.
Bolter is figuring out how to drive these rallies. Day number 1 is coming to him quite nicely. 2nd place, and he would go on to post the 2nd fastest in this stage once again. Did say after the stage, the huge jumps are just so hard to judge.
Indeed, Toyota, Johnny Gimmel and Drew Sturrock in the Castrol Toyota Auris coming into this stage as the rally leaders by 4.2 seconds. And I reckon the strategy at this point, Matt, would be just try and stretch that.
115, easy right plus.
So Gimmel taking a 3.1 second victory ahead of his teammate Polter, but the big movers were Vilkin and Damso, 3rd and 4th respectively on that stage, with Rautenbach in 5th. Keane then leads out the VW Chase group. De Villiers another 10th place.
After a tough stage 2, another chance for service.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a tough 2 stages for us. This last stage now, our radiator got completely clogged, so we ended up short shifting just to try and nurse it to the end of the stage. But it's all a part of the game, you know. So I'm not overly upset where we're lying, but we'll have to see what tomorrow brings us. The rally's tomorrow.
We had a good practice on Wednesday. We did a bit of shock settings and stuff like that. And we feel a lot more comfortable with the car. And yeah, maybe the roads suit my driving, so it's all right. So we're going quite well.
It's a better start, a bit slow in the first stage, but yeah, consistent. We'll see now what's going to happen on the tar, but it's going to be difficult because no one wants to be first on the road tomorrow. So we'll see what's going to happen.
After 2 stages, it's a Toyota 1-2 with Johnny Gemmell and Drew Starrett leading Leroy Poulter and Alvin Coetzee by 7.3 seconds. JP Damso and Caroline Swan in a solid 3rd position. And something we don't often see, the Fords outside the top 5 with Charles Wilkin and Greg Godridge leading that contingent.
We head now to stage number 3. Killarney 1, 14.63, all tarmac. Now there's going to be a couple of fast lads that can really hold it together on the asphalt.
Indeed, they're going to do 7 laps of the Killarney track in the opposite direction this time. Each crew 7 laps, and that means that we're going to have a number of cars on the stage at the same time, which can also complicate matters.
Watch out for the Fords to start showing some dominance here as well, because they've got a different kind of suspension setup. They can run their cars lower and really dial into the conditions. And I think the VWs and the Toyotas are going to battle in this one.
Also another factor, the setting sun, which is right in the crew's eyes as they go through the old Malmesbury sweep in the wrong direction, literally blinds them. We go on board with Conrad Rotenbach and Nicholas Klinger into Cape Town corner.
Some wide lines from Cronje there as it went down into Cape Town corner.
Max F maybe.
Well, of course, some drivers here have lots of circuit experience, so it'll be interesting to see. I reckon that Charles Wilkin, that man there, is probably the favorite to win this stage. He is super fast.
He's got a lot of history around this track, almost unbeaten.
Just look at the way in which he sweeps past the Sassel Ford there of John Williams.
Now, John Williams, he had some problems with his gear ratios as well, and he said on the tarmac he was just getting drilled down the straights. So, unfortunately, one of the Fords that didn't luck out in this situation.
The Volkswagen's not as adaptable to tarmac conditions as the more modern Fords and Peugeots and the likes. So the Volkswagens will not be able to be adapted to tarmac conditions. Wilkin just absolutely flying past anybody he can find on the track. I think he's enjoying himself immensely.
He literally is schooling the rest of the field here. Poulter and Cronje, they should be able to run similar kind of lap times. Cronje, I think he's going to run him very close on this one.
Yep, they both have circuit experience as well, as does Hein Laatkan, in fact. So it'll be interesting to see how the Peugeot 206 goes. Wow, I bet you that's what the crowd are there for to see. Look at the sun.
Yeah, look at the sun indeed. That's all they're looking at. They're getting absolutely blinded as they go through the hole in the wall.
Interesting little duel here. We're on board with John Williams on our left-hand side, going past Leroy Poulter, multiple karting champion and also a production car champion, so he knows his way around the circuit.
And that shot really just highlighted the fact that the gear ratios on Williams' car was wrong. No way that Poulter should have driven past him. And then you've got the BP Polo freight train.
Charles Wilkin goes on to set the fastest time in the stage. Not a big surprise there. Talking about the 2 Volkswagens, Geniel de Villiers in the number 8 car. Of course, he's not only a multiple touring car champion, but as we all know, he won the Dakar Rally, and he's not doing his teammate any favor by pulling the tires in front of him.
Yeah, clipped the tires nicely. Unfortunately, Laatkan nowhere to go there, but also running some sweet times on the only remaining Pertec Peugeot out there.
Joining the fray, Mohamed Musa and the Team Total Toyota Auris. Oh, and here's an interesting situation. This is Damso lining up Laatkan on the inside of Cape Town corner, but that's the wrong line and the wrong speed. Pays the price for it.
It's like a scene from X Games there. Very rarely do these guys get to go bar to bar.
Klaassen being chased by Dippenaar. This is a battle for 15th overall. Look at the understeer in that Monster Energy drink. Subaru, of course, that car's about 200 kgs heavier than anybody else as well.
Yeah, she's a big girl, hard to get stopped.
So Ford dominates there, no surprises, with Wilkin 6.2 seconds faster than Rotenbach, Cronje in 3rd, and Habich leading the Volkswagen contingent outside the top 5 ahead of Fecken, Keen and de Villiers.
We stay on the tarmac at Killarney for the super special 3.2 kilometers. Very, very exciting racing in the night.
This is where teams are paired against each other, 2 crews at a time, trying to set the fastest time in the stage. And the added difficulty now the darkness has fallen.
And it is going to be so tight when they go around this track. When you see them go into the pits, there is literally no room for error.
So the first pairing, Cronier and Houghton versus Rothenbach and Klinger. And who's going to come up trumps in this situation and in these conditions?
We've seen in the daytime, at least, that the Fords can run some hot pace around here. But at nighttime, you have to back it off ever so slightly.
They were so close when they did the individual stage earlier on. Of course, a much longer distance. Just look at this. This is what you were talking about, Matt.
It looks like they're pulling in to stop. No, this is still racing.
Three left tightens narrow onto track. 300 up. Late max left maybe tightens, and we keep left.
Wow, Cronier just going past there.
That's the best advice he's been given all year long. We keep left, yes, otherwise you get plowed.
So tricky in these conditions. You don't know exactly where the lines are, the breaking points and that sort of thing. And as they cross the line, it is Cronier who crosses it first.
So two Fords have been the first men out to go at it. Now you're going to see it's going to be VW versus Toyota, which should be a pretty equal pairing as well. This is Keen and Gimmel.
And this is a good illustration of exactly how this super special stage works. They split on the main straight. The one crew goes into the pits while the other goes on along the circuit, and then the next lap they swap around.
Tight and twisty on lap number 1 for Keen, and then it's flat out for the Toyota of Gemmel.
Be interesting to see how Gemmel approaches this. He knows he's probably not going to be the fastest on this stage. Wilkin probably going to win it again, but he has to defend that 7.3 second gap over his teammate Leroy Poulter.
Gemmel still ran a top 5 time in the daylight, so he's got something to defend. And remember, Toyota Rally still sees 2 Toyota drivers running first and second respectively.
Nobody's going to take any unnecessary chance here, and as they go across the line, it is in fact Gemmel that takes it from Kuhn.
A Ford versus VW pairing, and into the pit complex comes Feckin.
Currently lying in 5th position overall, just a fraction of a second, in fact 0.2 of a second ahead of Wilkin as they come into this stage. So he's probably going to lose that position, I think it's fair to say, if Wilkin, that is, takes the expected stage victory.
Williams on a stage where he should be making up some time, unfortunately still battling with those gear ratios and seeing himself slide down.
Williams currently in 10th position. I think he will be pretty happy with that.
Tiptoeing into the pit complex. Those are pretty wide cars as well, so hard to slide their way through those gaps.
Also keeping in mind that they are 4-wheel drive, and that makes it very, very difficult to get them through sweeps like these or very tight and twisty bits like in the pit complex. And it is, in fact, Feckin that takes that victory.
Drills the point home as well. Wilkin, though, earlier on today, he was the fastest man on this track in daylight. We know he's got the setup on the car as well. Let's see what he can do. But he's up against a hard challenger. Poulter should run him close on this one.
This should be a very, very good contest. And from the overall standings point of view, Wilkin coming into this stage in 6th place overall. He's not going to challenge for a top 3 position overall afterwards. He's certainly going to try and get closer to the 2 Toyotas heading up the standings.
He's gone from a 9th to a 3rd to a 1st, and this should be able to help him climb up the ranks as well.
He is so good. He's so smooth. Just turns a little bit too early there, and Wilkin takes a comfortable stage victory over Leroy Poulter. In the 2-wheel drive category, Ashley Ake Smith and James Aldridge lead the S1600 class with 1 minute 12.1 seconds over Chad Conradi and Kez Naidu, who are 25.6 seconds ahead of Christoph and Celeste Snyders. In the S1400 class, Dolph Kutsia and Henry Adams are on top.
At the end of day number 1 then, Johnny Gimmel has a 6.1 lead over his teammate Leroy Poulter. That's 2 Toyotas at the top of the pile. Charles Wilkin, though, has closed on them into 3rd.
Ergen Feckin and Pierre Aris lead the Volkswagen Charge in 6th position, and Mark Grenier and Robin Houghton down in an unfamiliar 7th. Join us after the break for day 2 action from the Toyota Cape Dealer Rally.
This is about a pledge. It's about a devotion to La Famiglia. It's about the living and the breathing for the Scudetto. This is about the best of Italian football. This is about the Serie A. Exclusive to Supersport.
Don't miss TNA Impact this week on Supersport South Africa.
This exclusive Rugby World Cup 2011 programming is proudly brought to you by Vodacom.
Congratulations to Garth and Kevin, the winners of the Supersport PVR competition.
What's not to love about rewinding to the past to relive those special moments? What's not to love about pausing the action so that you never have to miss a single second?
Enjoy your prizes, compliments of Supersport and Toshiba. Visit supersport.com to see both videos in full. Keep winning with your world of champions.
Give me fire.
The IRB Rugby World Cup, live on Supersport. Broadcast proudly brought to you by Land Rover, Shield, and ABSA.
Welcome to day 2 of the Toyota Cape Dealer Rally, which saw Johnny Gemmell leading a Toyota 1-2 ahead of Castrol teammate Leroy Poulter overnight. Local hero JP Damso also pushed hard to get into 3rd position, but Charles Wilkin pipped him for that place after winning the final 2 tarmac stages. Conrad Reuterbach also got past him and into 4th position with a solid performance on the tar, but Johnny Gemmell held a lead of 6.1 seconds overnight. Day 2 of the Toyota Cape Dealer Rally dawned bright and sunny with the Castrol Toyota team firmly in control.
Yesterday we had a good day and Leroy as well, so the plan is to do the same again today and hopefully bring it home a 1-2 for the team.
Yeah, it was good last night, and but today is the main day, and it's going to be tough, and we'll try and keep up the pace.
8 Cake is going to be the first stage on day number 2. 26.93 kilometers, flat out and plenty of jumps.
We are just east of the N7 between Malmesbury and Mauriceburg, and you're right, this is going to be a big challenge. The first time that they see this stage, there will certainly be no place for chickens on this one.
17. Keep left, max jump and max crest. C300. Gear slow left plus.
Just the first example of how big those jumps are, and there's damage already to our rally leader. This is going to be a turning point.
Johnny Gemmell and Drew Sturrock pushing very hard. Remember that they only have 6.1 seconds over their teammates. And coming into the end of the stage, there is damage.
Yeah, I landed over a jump right on the nose, but everything seems fine. I'll just check it out now.
Hopefully they don't have a price to pay for this afterwards. Leroy Poulter and Alvin Coetzee in the second of the Castrol Toyota Auris car, 6.1 seconds behind their teammates overnight.
Obviously not pushed as hard as his teammate did because there's no damage on the front of that, which means he was rolling a little bit slower through the big jumps.
We literally take a flyer along with them in almost losing control there. Can go wrong so easily, so quickly.
So Leroy, everything seems to be in order?
Yeah, it seems to be okay. Bit of a rough stage. Yes, the jumps are really bad, eh?
Left 8, no cut. Open, left 8, no cut. Open, C100. Small max right, and you'll see the narrow left 8, no cut gear.
Well, after an amazing end to day number 1 for Vulcan and a turnaround of fortunes that saw him running in 3rd place, no way he was going to throw that away, and it looks like he's finally found his confidence again.
Not taking any chances, though, finishing 8th overall on that stage. Reuterbach and Klinger now in the Greenfield Ford Fiesta, and they were 23.5 seconds off the pace coming into the stage.
70 up. 70 up, very late, 3 right plus through gate. Into max left. 200 down over bumps. Narrow 6 left plus. Narrow 6 left
And
plus.
setting the fastest time in that stage.
Yeah, it was a nice stage. Actually, it's got a bit of corners in that one, so it felt quite good. So I'm looking forward to it going back the other way.
And fastest time so far, that could move you right up the order.
Yeah, I think the guys didn't realise the road position yesterday was quite a handicap, but we got quite a good road position today, so we're trying to take advantage and see what we can do.
JP Damso and Carolyn Swan having a stellar drive on day number 1, just easing their way in. They would only go 11th fastest on this stage.
Not a good one, looks like it. I think we weren't on it, so we lost a bit of time there.
Ergen Vekken and Pierre Aris coming into the stage, part of a 4-car battle for 4th position. Only fractions of seconds between them, off 25.4 seconds off the pace coming into the stage and go 4th fastest.
I'm very surprised at Conrad's time. It seems to be a little bit too quick. But we had a really good stage, so don't know.
The ever doubtful Vekken. We know that he can turn it up every now and again, and the man that has to turn it up on day number 2 is Cronje. The road position is really going to work in his favour. Everyone else is going to be clearing the rocks with a little bit of luck for him, and he should be able to drop the hammer.
Left 5 in into left 3 over bump and caution, left 6 up top here. Caution, left 6. No cut, narrow. 70. 20 k's to go. Right 3 tightens to 5 over crest and caution, right. Next right 3 in, 300. Turn left 9, double caution.
I'm going to stop, Rob.
Yeah, stop. Okay, find your place, yeah. Okay, yeah, go. Go, stop. Stop on the flat.
And that would be a turning point for the rally, and especially for Cronje, our championship points leader, having to stop and do repairs.
Jan Habig and Robert Paisley coming into the stage in 8th position overall, also part of that 4-car group battling it out for 4th position, only seconds between them.
Cronje on the side there, so that's 2 minutes down the road already.
And they have rejoined, but lots of damage on the side of that car, and they would lose 3 minutes and 23 seconds in the process.
We got a puncture, I don't know where, and we tried to drive it, and then the tyre came off the rim and sort of all jammed into the car, so we had to stop and change it. That's a game over.
Right 1 through the gate, 50, right 3, oh no. 100 brake, left 3, right to 4. Okay, 40, the left 2 over the crest.
Some uncharacteristic mistakes from Keen, but obviously just all proving the point that he is now pushing the pace on day number 2.
Pushing very hard indeed, and he would go 3rd fastest in this stage.
It was a good first opening stage of the day, so we put in a big push. So nice stage, like these stages, they're quite fast, living in 6th gear.
Love that expression, don't you? Living in 6th gear.
Yeah, I use pinned, he just uses living in 6. Williams, though, still battling with those gear ratio problems, and the flat-out nature of this rally was just going to see him slide backwards. 10th was the fastest he could go.
De Villiers and Pitchford coming into this stage in 11th position overall, and I think they also enjoy these conditions. He is flying. They would go 5th fastest, 22.9 seconds off the pace. Lara Ghana van der Merwe now.
Just fantastic to see the Pertec Peugeot out there and really flying. That new handling package has changed their lives completely, and he would go on to take a 6th place on this stage.
Nicholas Ryan and Armand de Tour, 13th, but chasing down a top 10 position. They've been very consistent in the top 5 in the championship at the moment. Musa and Martin in 14th coming into the stage.
Battling to get himself into the top 10. Not an ideal setup on that car on this rally.
Dippenaar and Jacobs still fighting it out with Klaasen and Harding for the 15th position overall. In fact, Klaasen was struggling with the handling of the car on the stage.
Stage 5 then saw a first stage victory on the rally for Rautenbach, pulling 12.6 seconds out of rally leader Gemmel. The story, though, was Poulter dropping down and only taking 7th on this one.
Stage 6, south of Marisburg, is Wolfgat in the beautiful Swartland wheat fields, 19.39 kilometers of dirt. And somehow I do have the feeling that this rally is starting to develop in a certain direction. This is Klaasen and Harding again, and in fact his problem in the previous stage was a drive shaft problem.
Yeah, the back end of that thing just loose and all over the place. Vekken, a terrible stage here, broken radiator, and he would end up having to back off the pace and lose a full 40 seconds.
Then see 700. 700 right to 1.
Engine is bottom.
then C400.
And just compounding that, getting a 30-second penalty for clocking in late as well. Terrible stage for Fekke.
Nicholas Ryan and Armand du Toit in the Grand Mark Volkswagen Polo moving up to 12th position into the stage. They will only be 14th fastest. Back to Volro Dippenaar and Derek Jacobs. And they would go 13th fastest in the stage.
So hard to break into the top 10 on this rally. Damso has got to start turning up the wick on this one.
John Williams and Cobus Frey still inside the top 10. Very consistent at this point, but I'm sure they'd like to move up.
And running 10th fastest on this stage, Musa has actually found his pace finally.
Wilkin and Godridge coming into the stage in 5th position overall, losing some time in the previous stage.
Still controlling the rally quite nicely.
200 DBS. Yeah. Fast left there, up there. This is this 200 DBS thing. Turn slow right through gate. Turn slow right through gate. 600.
A small moment of awkward instruction there for Gemmel. He would still run some fast times, but only 8th fastest on this stage.
Watergan and Van der Merwe at the moment in 11th position overall. And I think the previous shot was a good demonstration as well, Matt. If you run wide, you're going to go through the wheat fields and you're going to clog up your radiators. That's what happened on a number of occasions.
So dangerous. All I keep hearing from all the co-drivers is warm. All the engines are getting super hot.
De Villiers and Pitchford coming into the stage in 9th position overall, and they would go 6th fastest by 9 seconds.
Nice to see no problem so far. Touch wood for the VW team. Hubik also picking up the pace there. He would get up and go on to get a 5th place on this stage.
Enzo Kuhn and Guy Hodgson, as always, foot in the hook, flat out as hard as possible. And I just love listening to the instructions by Guy Hodgson.
Left, right, and turn left through the very narrow building. Very, very narrow. Left 9. Right 4 is left 6. Right 4, left 6. 50, right 7 is left 5. 4th, right 8 down.
They would set the 4th fastest time on this stage. Cronje and Houghton now.
On the comeback trail. Remember, they had all those problems, losing so much time on the previous stage. They are running without a spare, though, because, you know, they had to do the running repairs, so that's a little bit dangerous. They would go on to take 3rd fastest. An almost standard option, Poulter overshoot on day number 2. It's always this stage where he really tries to drop the hammer and almost throw caution to the wind. Even with that mistake, he went on to post the 2nd fastest time on that stage. Without that mistake, surely it would have been a win.
That's a good deduction, I reckon. Konrad Rothenbach. He won the previous stage. How is he going to tackle this one? The answer is absolutely flat out. And he would indeed set the fastest time by that margin of 4.4 seconds.
Rautenbach then taking a bit of a stranglehold, going back-to-back on stage wins, winning out ahead of Poulter. De Villiers steps up to 6th place on that stage, and Gemmel drops down to 8th on that one.
And all of this means that Gemmel and Rautenbach are now level pegging.
You're tied for the lead with Conrad at the moment.
Yeah, we didn't expect that, but it was a bit slippy on that 1st and 2nd one. But in the 1st one, we were doing about 180 and landed on the nose, and it wasn't too good. But the car wasn't doing too bad after that.
I believe we tied to the split second, so it's great. You know, it's really close in that. So there's still the long stage to go and the repeat of the other one, but I like that stage and then the tar. So it's going to be a very interesting afternoon, I think.
Stage 7 is going to be a rerun of stage number 2, Niverdam, the massive monster of a stage, 38 kilometers. We know how hard this was on cars last time around.
And this can potentially have a big effect on the outcome of this rally. And it's great to see the spectators turning out in their numbers. This is really rally country. Gemmel and Storak, joint leaders at the moment, and the pressure must be on.
Yeah, this rally is all about pressure now. It's really turning into a cauldron. You know, these guys are pushing everything they can now. It's literally going to go down to who can take the stage victories in the last 2 stages.
Poulter and Coetzee now currently in 3rd position overall, 16.2 seconds off the pace. They would certainly like to do something about that forward in between them.
I love Poulter's pace on day number 2. It's all out aggression. But Vulcan, he has got the bit between his teeth. I'm just so happy to see him have some good turn of fortune. And he was dropping the hammer. He would actually go fastest on this stage.
On board with joint leaders Rothenbach and Klinger. Oh, that is Johnny Gemmell standing on the outside of that corner.
Coming into this stage, he was joint rally leader. He is now parked on the side, and we've only got 2 stages to go. That's a heartbreaker, but so many times in rally, that's how it goes.
Indeed, and Poulter also had a problem losing a minute there, so not good for Toyota. And Konrad Rothenbach now takes over the lead of this rally.
The Fords have turned things around on day number 2. So now the leading Toyota would actually be Damso.
Absolutely right. The team total Toyota Auras going faultlessly at this point, and I'm not sure that they realize that at this time, but they will be the leading Toyota at the end of this stage.
A loss of 3 minutes 31 on stage number 5. That is what is haunting Cronje at the moment. But he is shaking it off, and dusting the competition as well. He would end up second fastest on this stage.
By a margin of only 0.9 of a second, so clearly that car is flying. Fecken and Aris currently in 11th position, carrying a 30-second penalty after that problem earlier on. They clocked in late.
150 slippy, left 8, keep in. Repeat, slippy, left 8, keep in. C750. Oh, sake. I don't believe it.
The laugh of disbelief. Fecken has absolutely no luck, and it would end up being a puncher. They would have to pull off onto the side and lose well over 4 minutes on this stage.
Turns out to be 5.5 minutes, in fact, at the end. Desperately trying not to run into any problems as their teammates have. Habich and Paisley at the moment, running smoothly and fast, keeping up the pace, hoping to make up some positions.
And we've seen so many cars fail at this stage, unfortunately, so everyone has got their fingers crossed.
Enzo Kuhn and Guy Hodgson in the BP Volkswagen Polo pushing very, very hard. They know on a stage like this, you always have an opportunity of taking advantage of other people's problems.
It's a completely different Kuhn as well, because at the previous rally, he was just nursing it, bringing it home, said, I haven't got a chance of a stage win, so I'm just going to do whatever I can. But on this stage, he can drop the hammer, and there he goes, steaming past his teammate.
That's past the very slow-moving Achim Fecken's car as we go to John Williams. And Cobus Frey still on the verges of the top 10 coming into this stage.
And giving it everything she had. Now, he's just the whole rally long has battled with those gear ratios, and he said on that stage, the very limit, and he got a 6th place as his reward.
Hein Lategan and Johanna van der Merwe currently in 9th position overall as we go on board. And look at that, that looks like a wheel. That's a whole wheel assembly line there. Somebody must have hit that gate post.
Whoever went through there before got it seriously wrong, and Lategan is just making up time and making up places every single turn. There's a car on the left-hand side, and it's lost a left-hand wheel. That was Janelle de Villiers.
Absolutely. Disaster for Janelle de Villiers. That's the end of his rally as well.
Surprised he actually got that far down the road with only the 3 wheels.
Indeed. What is stage 7 still going to throw up for us? Nicholas Ryan and Armand Toy in 13th position overall.
It's just been surprises. Stage 7 has literally blown this rally wide open.
Pushing very hard, Mohamed Musa and Grant Martin overshoot there, and this is going to cost them time into the wheat fields.
You can see how easy it is to do as well. I mean, you're coming flat tapped into a 90-degree corner. It's very, very tricky conditions.
Hopefully they won't have overheating problems because of this. Laura Dippenaar and Derek Jacobs also moving well and currently in 15th position ahead of Klaassen and Harding in 16th.
Klaassen's just going to be happy to get this rally done, but the stage times after stage 7 look like this. Vulcan takes a victory ahead of Cronje and Rautenbach, so it's all Fords at the top of the pile on that one.
And big changes at the top of the standings as Konrad Rautenbach goes into the lead.
It's a pity for Johnny. It was a good fight, but I don't know what happened. I heard engine or something. It's a shame, but yeah, so it's good now, but it's still 2 stages to go, and Charles is very quick on the tar, so we have to have a clean run and hopefully keep it together.
Charles, it looks to have been another dramatic stage.
Yeah, it turned out okay for us, but Johnny was standing next to the road, so I don't know what happened to him. But we had a good stage. I really tried to push. But our power steering problems came back towards the last quarter of the stage, so I hope they can fix it. Otherwise, it's going to be a very difficult next stage for me.
not often you pass both your teammates and your main competitor in the stage. So it was a very interesting stage, and we just kept passing people and avoiding them, and kept getting dust. And then we say, oh, who's this now keeping us up? But everyone pulled off nicely. We had a good stage, and it's really boosted our overall position.
Unfortunately, but 15 k's from the end of the last stage, the prop shaft bolts broke, and it's done quite a lot of damage. We lost quite a lot of time. So yeah, it's a little bit difficult at the office today.
Unfortunately, I just got it out of line coming into a place where we had to go through a gate, and I hit the gate post with the left rear, and it took the left rear wheel off. So 100% my fault. It's just such a pity because we were going quite well up until then, and the car was running well, so would have been nice to do the last couple of stages. But anyway, these things can happen, and we have to accept it.
After 7 stages, Konrad Rautenbach and Nicholas Klinger lead by 34 seconds from Charles Wilken and Greg Godridge. Enzo Kuhn and Guy Hodgson, the top Volkswagen, in third.
After that terrifying stage, Lategan actually moves himself up into 6th place, and Marc Cronje on the comeback trail into the top 10.
The final dirt stage of the Toyota Cadillac Rally, stage 8, which is a repeat of stage 5, but just in the opposite direction. Langewens at 26.97 kilometers dirt all the way, and this is going to be a big challenge in these conditions.
Klaassen having some handling problems the whole way through the rally, but still going to bring the big Subaru home. This time they changed the drive shaft just before this stage to try and tighten up that back end.
Dippenaar and Jacobs in 12th position at this point. Nicholas Ryan and Armand de Toey in 9th. They've broken the top 10. And this is exactly the kind of performance we've seen before in the season from them.
That's how he runs in the top 5 for the championship for the drivers. Williams battling on this rally.
Stay right over bump. 70 right for him.
Did worry that he had a puncher late on in the stage, so just backed it off and brought it home.
Musa and Martin now moving inside the top 10. In fact, the 8th coming into the stage, and they would set the 10th fastest time in stage 8.
Poulter, he's had an up and down rally so far, was running in 2nd place the whole of day number 1. Day number 2 has seen him drop further and further back, and he would eventually go on and suffer another puncher, dropping him even further down the listings.
Faken and Aris well out of contention in 14th position, 7 minutes off the pace, but pushing very hard.
Faken is one of those drivers that is willing to take the risk. As long as his car will hold together, he will try and just steal a stage victory late on if he can.
And turn off left 8 over grid, very narrow, very narrow. Turn off left 8. Ooh.
And a big loss of time here. That's something like 15 seconds to get this recovery mode back into it.
Left 5. Into right 4 down.
Always interesting to listen to the interaction between driver and co-driver. Charles Wilken and Greg Godridge currently in 2nd position overall, just over 30 seconds behind rally leaders Rautenbach and Klinger.
So all he's got to do is do a little bit of protective work. 2nd place is a solid result. He would go on to take 7th fastest.
Habeck and Paisley in 11th position overall at this point. They know they've got just one more tarmac stage to go, so they're pushing very hard here, hoping to break into the top 10.
He's such a big kid. He said to me afterwards, he's just enjoying the jumps. Have a smile on his face the whole way through. 6th place, he'll be happy with that.
Damso and Swan currently in 4th position. That's a solid performance in the team total, Ulrich. And in front of their home crowd, I'm sure they are enjoying themselves immensely.
Konrad Rautenbach and Nicholas Klinger are in the sweet spot at the moment. They are protecting a lead, and they are just enjoying the rally. Finally got the setup they want on the car, and they would eventually go on to take 4th fastest on this penultimate stage.
On board we go with Lategan and Van der Merwe in the only remaining Pertec Peugeot. Solid performance by them. This is one of their better performances of the season. They are in 6th position overall at this point. If they hold on to that, they will be very happy indeed.
Attack is what they are all about on this stage. They've been building in confidence the whole way through the rally, and they would go on to be rewarded with a 3rd place on this stage. That is fantastic for Peugeot and all their fans.
Caution right 8, very narrow. Double caution right 8, yeah. Very narrow. 70, caution right 5 over bump dip. Caution right 5 over bump dip. 120. Long express middle into left 3.
long back straight middle, into left 3 and left 5 Sandy, 90, caution, right hand, very narrow in, caution, right hand, very narrow in.
Grenier and Houghton coming into the stage in 10th position overall. Their only strategy at this point, Matt, can be to try and make up some more positions. So they are definitely pushing very hard.
Yeah, it's just everything she's got. And, you know, they literally have nothing to lose. They've lost the rally. They just need to get up there and try and save some championship points. And that is what this stage and this finish will be all about. They would go on to take the second fastest time on that stage.
Enzo Kuhn and Guy Hodgson coming into this stage in 3rd place, but their sights firmly set on that 2nd position held by Wilkin.
Maximum attack is what it's all about as well, because he is close enough that he can actually make up the deficit. He would go fastest on this stage to take his first stage win.
Kuhn takes it by 3.9 seconds over Grenier, but crucially he was 18.5 faster than Wilkin, so he moves into 2nd position.
Final stage is the Killarney finale, 14.94 kilometers to end things out on tarmac.
Each car will do 7 laps of the Killarney racetrack in the opposite direction, exactly the same way as earlier. So as far as the rally standings are concerned, Rothenbach leads Kuhn by 23 seconds. Can Wilkin make up that time? Another nice little battle going on at the moment, the battle for 5th position. Leroy Poulter there in the number 13 Castrol Toyota Auris, just 8 seconds or so behind Hein Lateghan.
Yeah, he's done himself good here as well, because he would go on to take the 2nd fastest time there. But we know the king of this stage, at least the whole way through this rally, has been Wilkin. And once again, he just showed true dominance to end out the rally nicely.
Rothenbach and Klinger going into the stage as our rally leaders. As I said, 23 seconds they have. And all they need to do really is just to keep it nice and steady, no mistakes, and just bring it home.
Now, they showed good pace before. They know exactly what they need to do. No big risks, but the risks are all being thrown down by Wilkin. Going elbow to elbow with Poulter. So much experience in those two hands.
Multiple national circuit racing champions championships between the two of them, and this is exactly what they're going to show the crowd. They are going to race each other as hard as possible.
Damso is running good in the overalls. Grenier is still trying to find time. And what you find with this guy, he just does not give it up. He's a dog with a bone. And if there's any seconds to be found, he will go for it.
Well, every place they make up obviously pays more points in the championship. He's already moved up 1 position as Grenier, as we watch a 3-way Volkswagen battle unfold.
Once again, clipping the tires. Lateghan. Now, this has been just a turnaround for the Peugeot guys. Since they got their new handling package, they have found something very special.
And the on-track battle continues between Dipnar and Klaasen. Beautiful overtaking there. I think probably the maneuver of the day.
Confirmation then of the final stage results. It was Wilkin that ended with a flourish to win out ahead of Poulter, Grenier, Kuhn and Rautenbach.
In the 2-wheel drive category, Christoph and Celeste Snyders take the victory in the S1600 class, 2 minutes 9.2 seconds ahead of Craig Trott and Robbie Coetzee, with Chad Corradi and Kez Naidu in 3rd. Class S1400 is won by Dolph Coetzee and Henry Adams in their Toyota Taz, the only remaining car in that class. Podium celebrations for the Toyota Cape Dealer Rally. And I think a lot of satisfied faces there. Father Billy Rothenbach giving his son Conrad a big undeserved hug. The champagne is on. Different looking podium to many of the events we've seen so far this season.
Except for Kuhn. He's just always there.
So Rothenbach and Klinger take it by 23 seconds from Kuhn and Hodgson. Wilkin and Godridge in a solid 3rd position. Heinrich Lateghan, Johan van der Merwe in 5th.
Leroy Potter took 6th place, but the big story on this rally with Mark Grenier and Robert Houghton clawing their way back into 9th place.
It's great, you know, it's a special achievement for us. You know, we're using ethanol now, a green fuel. They finally allowed it, so I think it's the first time in South African motorsport that a biofuel, you know, environmentally friendly fuel won an event. So it's really fantastic for us. We're really chuffed.
And great to see you back on the podium again.
Yeah, very happy. It was a good weekend, big push. Conrad was very fast, very good this morning in the 2 first stage. We can come back on the win and close to the victory, and then continue all of the day and then finish very happy.
We pushed very hard towards the end, and I must say it almost feels like we should have won, because the rally overall we hadn't pushed that hard for a long time, and we hadn't been able to win stages this year like we used to last year, and we really had to dig deep. Went to 110 10% on that one stage to catch Wilkin and stay ahead of him. We knew that we would lose some time on the tarmac in the last stage, which we did. But luckily, we had enough in hand, so it's very rewarding to get a second.
Very quick penultimate stage there, Guy.
Absolutely, just full maximum effort. I take my hat off to Enzo. I don't know, huge courage. Very good job, well done.
It was a good rally for a change. We had some bad events the last two, so it's great to be on the podium again.
Great stuff. And Greg, how was it for you? Very fast rally, quick on the notes?
Very quick on the notes. Actually woke me up a bit this morning. Shoulder drove very well. I think we might have got our confidence back now. Had two bad ones after a big crash in PE. But I think the team's back on track. We're motivated and we had a lot of fun this weekend. Bloody fast though.
Rothenbach's third victory of the season moves him back on top of the driver's standings, only 9 points behind both Mark Renier and Enzo Kuhn.
In the Co-Drivers' Championship, there's a flip out at the top. Guy Hodgson takes over the points lead with Robin Houghton dropping down to second place. An extremely happy Konrad Rothenbach gets himself back onto the top of the pile.
Toyota still leads the manufacturer's standings by a healthy margin over Volkswagen. Ford currently in third position. Join us on the 10th of October for more highlights from the Toyota Cape Dealer Rally. The Toyota Cape Dealer Rally was proudly brought to you by Toyota.